Vitamin supplements are sold as if they are little bottles of health, energy, and protection. Walk through any pharmacy and you'll see shelves packed with labels like Ultra Immune Boost, Mega B Complex, and Heart Protection Formula. The marketing is powerful. These companies convince you that pills will fix your health problems. But here's the truth. Nobody selling these things will tell you. Vitamins are not harmless. In fact, many of the most popular supplements on the market can damage your health, especially if you are over 50. Let's get this straight. Vitamins are not magical. They are chemicals. Yes, they occur naturally in food, but the form you swallow in a pill is often synthetic, isolated, and far more concentrated than what nature ever intended. That means they don't behave in your body the same way vitamins from real food do. And like any chemical, if you take too much or if you take it in the wrong balance, it can hurt you. The supplement industry never talks about this. You won't hear a vitamin salesman warn you that taking too much vitamin D can calcify your arteries. You won't read on a bottle of vitamin E that it increases your risk of hemorrhagic stroke. You won't see a warning label on B12 that high doses may thicken your blood and lead to clotting problems in people already at risk. But the science is clear. These dangers are real. The problem is that people are taught to think if a little is good, more must be better. That is a lie. Vitamins are not like water. You can't just flush out what you don't need. This is especially dangerous with fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. These don't leave your body quickly. They build up slowly in your fat tissue and liver. Take too much for a long time, and you won't even realize damage is happening until suddenly it does. People over 50 are at even higher risk from supplement misuse because metabolism slows down with age, kidney and liver function decline, and many seniors are already on medication. Vitamins interact with those medications, sometimes in dangerous ways. Vitamin K affects blood thinners like warfarin. Vitamin E thins the blood too much if combined with aspirin or fish oil. High-dose calcium supplements increase heart disease risk, yet they're still handed out like candy to seniors worried about osteoporosis. Here's another problem. Most people taking supplements never tested their levels in the first place. How do you know you need vitamin D if you never measured it? How do you know you're deficient in magnesium, iodine, or B12 unless a blood test shows it? You are guessing, and guessing with your health is a bad strategy.
Let me be clear. Some supplements are good tools when used correctly, but a supplement should supplement a healthy lifestyle, not replace one. The problem today is people don't want to fix their diet. They don't want to give up processed junk, seed oils, sugar, or alcohol, so they pop pills and think they're healthy. That is a lie. You cannot supplement your way out of a bad diet or a sedentary life.
Vitamins are a double-edged sword. Used correctly, they can help. Used blindly, they can harm. The goal is not to fear vitamins, but to respect them, treat them like medicine, test and take only what you actually need, and always focus first on real nutrients from real food. Your body was built by nature, not a supplement factory. Fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K, are some of the most misunderstood nutrients in human health. People hear about the benefits, but rarely are they told about the risks, especially the risks that come from oversupplementation. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that your body can flush out through urine, fat-soluble vitamins stay inside your body, stored in your liver and fat tissues, and when something stays inside long enough, it can build up to dangerous levels and start causing silent damage. Most people over 50 are targeted by supplement companies promising stronger bones, sharper memory, better immunity, and anti-aging miracles. Vitamin D for bones, vitamin A for eyes, vitamin E for the heart, vitamin K for immunity. But nobody tells you the truth. These vitamins are powerful, and when misused, they absolutely can harm you, in some cases even increasing your risk of stroke, blood clotting disorders, and organ damage. Let's break this down in plain language. Vitamin A is essential for vision, cell growth, and immune function. However, too much vitamin A, especially in supplement form, gets stored in your liver. Over time, this can cause liver toxicity, headaches, dizziness, and in severe cases, increased cranial pressure and bleeding risk in the brain. That means stroke risk goes up. Cod liver oil tablets and high-dose vitamin A capsules are some of the worst offenders. If you're already eating eggs, liver once in a while, dairy, and carrots, you are not vitamin A deficient, yet people keep supplementing blindly. Vitamin D is another favorite, especially after the pandemic. Everyone heard vitamin D boosts immunity, and suddenly people began swallowing 5,000, 10,000 IU daily without ever testing their blood levels. That is reckless. Vitamin D toxicity raises calcium levels in the blood, causing calcium to deposit in arteries, kidneys, and heart valves. That's called vascular calcification, and it is a direct path to heart attack and stroke. Vitamin D is powerful, but it must be taken based on lab results, not guesswork. Vitamin E is sold as an antioxidant and heart protector, but no one tells you the dark side. Too much vitamin E interferes with blood clotting. In people already taking aspirin, fish oil, or blood thinners, high-dose vitamin E increases the risk of hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding in the brain. Real vitamin E from nuts, olive oil, and avocados doesn't cause this problem. It's the isolated supplement version that creates chaos in your body. Vitamin K is different. Vitamin K2 in food form helps calcium go into bones and teeth instead of arteries. But vitamin K1 in synthetic supplements can interfere with medications like warfarin and lead to dangerous blood clotting changes if not monitored. Again, you should never take vitamin K supplements unless your doctor understands what medications you're already taking. Here's the truth. Fat-soluble vitamins are not dangerous when they come from food. Nature designed food-based vitamins to work gently and safely inside the body. Supplements, on the other hand, are concentrated and isolated. They bypass your body's natural nutrient filters. And when combined with modern diets full of seed oils and inflammation, they can cause oxidative damage and vessel injury. So what's the safe strategy? First test, don't guess. Check your vitamin D, calcium, liver enzymes, and inflammation markers. Second, get your fat-soluble vitamins from real food whenever possible. Third, only supplement when your levels are low and only in precise doses, not megadoses. Your body is not a landfill for pills. It's a finely tuned biological system, and it works best when fueled by real food and smart nutrition, not dangerous marketing myths. B vitamins are often advertised as harmless energy boosters. Take B12 for fatigue, B6 for mood, folate for heart health. For years, they've been sold as safe, essential, and impossible to overdose. But that's not true. Just like any powerful nutrient, B vitamins can harm you when misused, especially if you're over 50 and taking them without medical guidance. Most people think B vitamins are always safe because they're water soluble and the body removes any extra through urine. That's only partially true. While excess B vitamins may leave the body, eventually high doses taken daily still affect your blood arteries and brain before they leave your system, and that's where the damage begins. Let's start with B6 and B12, the two most commonly abused B vitamins. These are heavily promoted for nerve health and energy. But here's what most people have never been told. High doses of B6 and B12 are linked to a higher risk of stroke. This isn't speculation, it's published science. A major study in the journal Neurology followed over 50,000 people and found that men who took high-dose B6 and B12 had a 30–40% higher risk of stroke, especially if they were smokers or already at risk for heart disease. That is a shocking number, and yet you won't find a single warning label on those supplement bottles. Why does this happen? Because B vitamins are involved in controlling a compound in the blood called homocysteine. When your homocysteine levels get too high, it damages your blood vessels from the inside. Think of it like acid slowly eroding your arteries. Your body tries to repair the damage, and that leads to thick, stiff blood vessels, inflammation, and eventually blood clots, and clots lead to stroke. Now here's the twist. B vitamins can help lower homocysteine, but only when your body actually needs them. If your B vitamin levels are already normal and you start taking massive supplemental doses, you actually throw the system out of balance. Your body panics, overcorrects, and that creates even more inflammation and clotting. Let's talk about another silent problem, synthetic folic acid, the fake version of vitamin B9. It's added to bread, cereals, flour, and cheap multivitamins. Your body doesn't handle synthetic folic acid well. It builds up in your blood and blocks real folate from doing its job. High levels of unprocessed synthetic folic acid are now linked to increased cancer risk and impaired immune function. Real folate from foods like eggs, liver, spinach, and lentils is safe. Synthetic folic acid is not. The worst part? Most people taking B vitamins never get tested. They don't know if they're low or high. They don't know their homocysteine levels. They're guessing, and guessing with your bloodstream is a dangerous game. If you're already diabetic, overweight, have high blood pressure, or a family history of stroke, high-dose B vitamins can push you over the edge.
Do I think B vitamins are bad? Absolutely not. They're essential, but they must be used correctly. Your body doesn't need massive doses. It needs balanced nutrition. The smartest approach is simple.
Get B vitamins from real food. Eat eggs, meat, sardines, liver once a week, spinach, and beans. Only supplement if your blood test shows deficiency. And if you're taking B vitamins now, stop the megadoses. Your arteries will thank you.
The vitamins aren't candy. They're tools. And like any tool, they can fix or they can break depending on how you use them.
Vitamin E has been marketed for decades as a heart-protecting antioxidant. Supplement companies sell it like insurance against aging, oxidation, and inflammation. You'll see labels claiming it prevents heart disease and improves blood circulation. But here's the hard truth. Vitamin E in supplement form is not the same as vitamin E from real food. And in many cases, it can do far more harm than good. In fact, when vitamin E oxidizes, which it easily does, it can actually damage blood vessels, increase inflammation, and raise the risk of hemorrhagic stroke. Let's break this down simply and directly. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means it stays in the body longer and can accumulate over time. That alone makes it risky if you take more than your body needs. But there's a bigger problem. The form of vitamin E sold in supplement bottles is usually alpha-tocopherol only, while real vitamin E in food includes 8 different compounds, 4 tocopherols and 4 tocotrienols. When you take high-dose synthetic alpha-tocopherol, you block the absorption of the other 7 forms, especially gamma-tocopherol, the one most protective for your blood vessels. So instead of helping, synthetic vitamin E creates deficiency and imbalance. But it gets worse. Vitamin E is very sensitive to oxidation. When it oxidizes, it turns toxic inside your bloodstream. Oxidized vitamin E generates free radicals, the same harmful molecules it's supposed to prevent. This oxidative damage injures the lining of your arteries, leading to plaque instability, inflammation, and clot formation. In other words, the very thing people take vitamin E to prevent heart attack and stroke, it may worsen. This isn't a theory. It's backed by clinical studies. A massive study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that high-dose vitamin E supplements increased the risk of hemorrhagic stroke by 20. Another study from the American Heart Association found no heart benefits from vitamin E supplements, but a significant increase in bleeding risk, especially brain bleeds. So how does vitamin E increase blood clotting and stroke risk? It interferes with vitamin K metabolism, the vitamin responsible for controlling blood clotting in the body. When vitamin E is taken in high doses, it blocks vitamin K, leading to uncontrolled bleeding or abnormal clotting. If you're already taking a blood thinner like warfarin, aspirin, or even fish oil, the combination with vitamin E becomes dangerous fast. Many people over 50 take aspirin daily for the heart, then add vitamin E because they think it's healthy and unknowingly walk straight into stroke risk. Another little known truth, most vitamin E supplements are made from cheap soybean or corn oil full of inflammatory omega-6 seed oils. These oils oxidize easily and generate even more inflammatory stress inside the arteries. That's a direct recipe for endothelial damage, the inner lining of blood vessels, which increases clotting risk. But here's what supplement companies won't tell you. Vitamin E from real food is completely safe. When you eat almonds, sunflower seeds, avocados, and olive oil, you get vitamin E in its natural mixed tocopherol form, where it works together with other nutrients like selenium and vitamin C. Nature always packages nutrients in balance. The human body knows how to use food, not synthetic megadoses. So what's the smart approach? Simple. If you're worried about heart health, don't reach for a vitamin E pill. Clean up your diet instead. Cut seed oils, lower sugar and inflammation. Eat whole foods and get natural antioxidants from meat, eggs, nuts, leafy greens, and berries. If you truly need vitamin E support, choose a mixed tocotrienol formula, but never high dose and never without reason. Vitamin E isn't the enemy. Ignorance is. Use it wisely or don't use it at all. Your blood vessels depend on it. Multivitamins are one of the biggest health scams of the modern world. People buy them because they think they're doing something good for their body, something responsible, preventive, and healthy. But here's the raw truth. Most synthetic multivitamins do more harm than good, especially for people over 50. They create nutrient imbalances, overload the body with chemicals it doesn't need, and can actually increase inflammation and disease risk over time. Let's cut through the marketing lies. Multivitamins did not come from real science. They came from clever marketing. Supplement companies know people eat poorly and feel tired, so they sell hope in a bottle. Complete nutrition, 1-a-day health, immune protection, all empty promises. In reality, most multivitamins are made of synthetic, low-quality nutrients that your body does not absorb well and does not need in isolated forms. A large 2018 study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that multivitamins do not reduce the risk of heart disease, cancer, cognitive decline, or early death. Yet millions of people still take them daily. Here's one of the biggest problems: nutrient imbalance. Real food contains nutrients that work together in perfect ratios designed by nature, but multivitamins throw random amounts of isolated vitamins and minerals into one pill, often way too much of what you don't need and none of what you actually do need. For example, Most multivitamins contain calcium, which you probably already get enough of, and too much calcium increases the risk of artery calcification and heart attack. They include cheap iron, even though most adults, especially men and postmenopausal women, do not need extra iron. Excess iron oxidizes, increasing inflammation and aging. They give you synthetic folic acid instead of real folate, which can cause blood level buildup and interfere with DNA repair. They include zinc without copper, vitamin D without magnesium, and calcium without vitamin K2. Imbalances that stress your body and create deficiencies. And here's something most people don't know. Synthetic vitamins are not biologically identical to natural vitamins found in food. For example, synthetic vitamin E, D-alpha tocopherol, is only half as active as natural vitamin E and blocks other forms your body needs. Synthetic vitamin A is toxic in high doses and builds up in your liver. Synthetic B vitamins lack natural cofactors from food and behave differently in the body. Another sneaky problem, most multivitamins are made with fillers, artificial colors, flow agents, titanium dioxide, and hydrogenated oils, things nobody should be swallowing daily. But they're cheap to produce, so manufacturers use them. So why do people still believe in multivitamins? Because they think food today is nutrient poor and that a pill is safe. Insurance. But insurance against what? Bad lifestyle. You can't out-supplement a bad diet, chronic stress, lack of exercise, poor sleep, and anemia from seed oils and sugar. Health doesn't come from a tablet. It comes from your daily habits. Now, am I saying all supplements are bad? No. Some are powerful tools when used correctly, based on need, not guessing. But a generic multivitamin is not nutrition, it's noise. It confuses your body, it overloads some systems and starves others. It creates imbalance. You want real health? Fix your nutrition first. Eat real food, prioritize protein, cook at home, avoid processed garbage. Then and only then test your nutrient levels and supplement with purpose. Multivitamins are a false safety net. Don't fall for the trap. Your body deserves real nourishment, not synthetic nonsense. Real health is not built in pharmacies, supplement shops, or vitamin factories. It's built in your kitchen, on your dinner plate, and through the strength of your muscles. Every cell in your body runs on real food, not capsules and powders. The idea that we can swallow pills to solve health problems is one of the biggest lies ever sold to humanity. Your body doesn't want synthetic nutrition. It wants real nutrients from real food, delivered in the natural combinations nature designed. If you're over 50, your life depends on understanding this. Let's get straight to the point. Whole foods heal, protect, and power your body in ways no supplement ever will. Why? Because food contains nutrient synergy. That means nutrients in food work together like a team. Magnesium helps vitamin D get into cells. Vitamin K2 tells calcium where to go. Zinc works with B6 to support testosterone and metabolism. Amino acids work with creatine to build and preserve muscle. Real food provides all of that naturally, no guessing, no overdosing, no risk. Supplements give you isolated nutrients that can throw your body out of balance. For example, seafood doesn't just contain omega-3s, it contains selenium that prevents oxidation of those fats. Beef doesn't just contain iron, it also comes packaged with B12 and retinol for blood building and energy. Eggs don't just contain protein, they carry choline, biotin, and healthy fats that power the brain. That is real nutrition, complete packages of health. Now let's talk about something doctors almost never talk about. Muscle is your real life insurance after 50. You can take all the vitamins and supplements in the world, but if you lose muscle, your health will collapse, guaranteed. Muscle protects you from diabetes, obesity, joint pain, falls, fractures, fatigue, and yes, even stroke. Studies from Harvard and The Lancet have proven that low muscle mass is linked to a shorter lifespan and a higher risk of every chronic disease. That means building and protecting muscle is not optional, it's survival. And here's the hard truth. Most people over 50 are losing muscle every single year, not because of age, but because of lack of protein and resistance training. You can't build muscle on bread, rice, noodles, and tea. You need high-quality protein from eggs, beef, chicken, fish, Greek yogurt, or lentils. You need healthy fat.